July.
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 How is it July already?
I don't know, but that's good, isn't it? There's games coming out.
The endless march of time.
No, the endless July of time. We must have made that joke every time we've done this.
Yeah.
It's too late now.
Oh well.
Yeah. So let's talk about the July games.
Yes. What's out this summer? Let us tell you.
These ones.
Cars! F1 is back with its 2022 instalment, with new handling, F1 sprint, and immersive features such as formation laps, safety car periods, and even pit stops with visible human errors. Fans of the shiny car lifestyle will also be interested in F1 Life, where you can dress up your driver and design your very own living space, with space for a shiny car to put on display in it. F1 is The Sims now?
Yeah, it's weird. I've played quite a lot of this, and the racing stuff is really fun and really robust. But what they've added this year is, you can like kind of decorate your room with different rugs and sofas.
Yeah.
And it is odd because it's not as fully featured. It's not fully featured like The Sims or something. It's not. It's really just like selecting from a number of different like
presets,
sofas, and wall art, and all of the wall art is like kind of horrible because it's like, well, it's not horrible, it's just like, wow, you'd walk into the room and be like, wow, this person is so into cars.
Yeah.
It's like their whole deal. It's like,
this is the whole thing.
If I was an F1 driver, I'd want to like get home to a like car-free environment.
Yeah,
personally.
for a bit, yeah.
I am no expert, but I will crib from Mike's comments on the game, which are that the supercar stuff, like in terms of handling, does not really measure up with like Gran Turismo 7 or something. And that's because the game is built to drive Formula 1 cars, and that it does
very different physics.
Yeah. But it does that really well. I've had a great time like popping on a 35 lap Grand Prix, long enough to do some pit stops and get some rivalries and have some good battles and look after tyres.
Lockdown changed you. Remember when we didn't know anything about cars? Yes. And then you watched that Netflix show and then everything changed. And now you're in love with Pierre Gasly.
Pierre Gasly. I still like Pierre Gasly, but I'm all about Charles now. Come on, Charles, you can get it back.
I watched the trailer and it was like accessibility features. And all of the accessibility features that I could see were kind of like changing how hard it was.
Yes.
Like just difficulty stuff. Whereas I would consider accessibility things being like making it so that, it's easier for people who are colorblind who can maybe watch it and things like that. There's not really kind of like those kind of, it's like, makes it more accessible in general, but I wouldn't say that they were accessibility features.
There should be a divergence of terms here, but there's accessibility features and then there's approachability features.
It's an approachability feature.
What they mean is approachability, and they have actually really gone like a long way this year to adding a whole lot of like AI tweaks and race setup options to mean that like you can play this game if you've never played a Formula 1 game.
Well, I think a lot of people have got into Formula 1 in the last 2 years probably because of that Netflix show, I think, in all honesty. Sure. There's way more people interested in it who didn't used to be. I've even watched a couple of Grand Prix. I don't know what's happening to me. But like, and so it is good that kind of making it easier for people to try out their first F1 game that isn't going to just kick them in the butt and then they go, well, I spent £40 on that and I played it once and I couldn't do it, so bye.
Possibly consider waiting and just like get next year's one. It'll probably have a story mode in it again. Or play last year's one, which has a silly story mode, and it was ridiculous. Mike says it gets really twisty-turny towards the end, which is
the races do. They have bends in them and stuff.
Yes. Both twists and turns.
Yeah. And hairpins. I know what a hairpin is. It's those ones, because it's like a hairpin. Learned that this year.
Just going to keep nodding silently.
As Dusk Falls follows the entangled lives of two families in Arizona. Spanning across 30 years, this interactive drama kicks off with a robbery gone wrong, and every choice you make has an impact. With a pretty and unique art and animation style, this crime drama plays out like a comic book come to life, and can be played together by up to 8 players locally, online, or both. So this was showed off at the Xbox Bethesda showcase.
Yep.
It's day one Game Pass.
Wow, that's good.
So that's really cool. You can pre-install it if you want to get ready for that. And, you know, if you've already got Game Pass, why not? And then you can start playing it as soon as. There's a companion app. The As Dusk Falls companion app makes making choices in-game easy. Just use your phone or tablet to vote with or against your friends. So that's the co-op stuff.
Right.
So you can join in together and all vote on what decision the character makes.
That's fun.
Which I think is quite fun for like a kind of interesting, like,
I love story games with choices, and if there's like a co-op element, that's really fun. I'm imagining kind of like Life is Strange, but with but like played as a group.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's cool.
And it's it looks really cool. Like the animation style is kind of like fading in the characters in and out in different positions and stuff with the lovely 2D art style where they've sort of like taken photos of people and done a lovely kind of drawing over the top of them. Not quite not quite tracing, but like has that effect to it. And I think it's really good. It makes it like a very unique looking game that is unlike anything else that I saw across all the different showcases and video streams that were happening around E3 time.
But all you really need to know is it's on Game Pass. So if you have that, you may as well try it. You've already paid for it if you have Game Pass, so yeah, get on it.
I'm a kitty, get me out of here! In Stray, you play a cute cat that has fallen into a forgotten city of droids. As you work to escape and get back to your family, you'll uncover mysteries of this decaying cyber city with the help of flying drone B12, one of the many bots you'll befriend on your journey. There is plenty of puzzling, but you'll also need to be careful of the creatures who might want to preemptively end your journey. So I have literally been waiting for this for a year.
Yeah, I can't believe it's finally
happening.
Out.
COVID delayed it all, but it's happening now.
COVID couldn't stop that brave cat.
You can't stop Stray. Yeah, it's really cute. You're just a little kitty cat climbing around and like working out what this city is. And when you fall in, you've got a little injured leg and you little hop along and then you make friends with a little robot called B12. And what I really like is, like, if I looked it up, I was like, is it anything to do, like, is there a kind of like funny thing about this name? And if you look up, like, vitamin B12 is a vitamin that is found mostly in animal proteins, which is what animals, like cats, have to eat in their food. So it's kind of a thing that they need. So I'm wondering, I'm wondering if that is, you know, it's a thing that cats will need to live. So it's helpful as a little droid to help it. And then you get like a little suit with like a little kind of like backpack on it.
I really want this to be good. We know that the animation looks great. We know that you play as an adorable cat, and everyone rightly lost their minds over gameplay footage. So like with some like good, halfway good level design and story, this could just be an absolute slam dunk. So. Fingers crossed that it was worth the wait. Yeah,
there seems to be...
We can't handle Stray not being very good, is what I'm saying. Society will crumble.
Well, from what I've seen...
It all comes down to this.
From what I've seen of like kind of like the way that you interact with the droids and have chats with them, it's quite endearing. You can like literally go up to the droids and like rub up on them like a little kitty cat.
Sure, but is the game...
You know, there's that Twitter account that's like, can you pet the dog?
Yeah,
it's like, can the cat pet the droids? Yes. I am a sucker for kind of like any type of like verticality in games.
Yeah.
Yes, also cats, and there's a lot of like, you know, climbing up things and getting to places that you normally wouldn't, but as a cat you have the ability to. And like seeing a city from a different angle, I think is always interesting. In Endling, Extinction is Forever, you play the last mother fox on Earth, and it's your job to protect your 3 cubs as you travel through a world ravaged by humans and guide them to a safer refuge. Sniff out food for your cubs and help them learn new fox skills as you travel together. And don't forget to sniff out clues, as another 4th cub was stolen and you must find them. So
I'm immediately upset by the child peril, the little baby fox.
Yeah, there's a little baby fox that gets snatched, and so
John
that
off
kind
camera
of
is just
sets,
he's just going like
that
this.
sets the story off that you have to leave.
Yeah, I don't know if I can handle that.
Yeah,
it's rough.
You kind of have to protect them. Like owls can come down and like swoop them
Bloody hell.
away. But the whole time, like they're 3 cubs and they're all quite apparently like very unique.
Okay, that's cool.
I think that they'll each like learn different things.
Yeah.
Is what that will probably come out as
personalities.
in gameplay.
You're the last fox mother on Earth.
Yeah.
So you're trying to preserve the fox species.
Yeah.
Although, if it's just you and your children, not as diverse a gene pool
No.
as you would hope to be preserving.
You're sort of like travelling to another safer place, and I would like to hope that you get there and then you find we're not the only foxes
Some foxes
left.
you're not related to would be good.
It's like Land Before Time.
A little bit Land Before Time, maybe. Yeah. That's sort of they're trying to get to the place that is
Animals
safe.
of Farthing Wood, surely, is the
Oh,
comparison. They've got to get to
true.
White Deer Park, which is brimming with, attractive foxes who they're not related to. Yeah, it's brutal.
It was that and...
Some of the most savage animal deaths I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen that many. So. In fact,
That's the point. It's all in that
Animals of Farthing Wood is the
show.
only place I've seen animals violently
That and
killed.
Watership Down, but you kind of had a warning with Watership Down. That was its
Yeah,
whole
that's
deal.
true. And it would sometimes coyly cut away, whereas Animals of Farthing Wood was just like, see this little mouse? It's going on a thorn. How do you like nature now? Still think we were wrong to bulldoze the park? Yeah. And then they get to White Deer Park and like a civil war happens.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole kind of like dynasty clash. Anyway, we can't talk about Animals of Farthing Wood. We don't have enough time. Tell me if all the foxes are okay, then I'll play it.
Yeah.
But I don't think I want to play this game with that hanging over me because, sometimes you play these cutesy games and they actually do have really sad endings. And it's like, I'm not sure I'm going to handle that.
It's fine. I'll play it. I'll have the
yeah.
emotional breakdown and then I'll let you know.
Nice. Cheers, Ellen. Next game.
Yay! You may not have heard of Live Alive because it's a 1994 RPG developed by Square and released only in Japan. But here's a chance to dispel the fog of ignorance because a remake is coming to Nintendo Switch. The remake offers a complete graphic overhaul in the style of Octopath Traveler. So Luke, you know a bit about this game.
A little. I mean, I haven't played the original, but I believe it is fairly well regarded. What is interesting about this is that Nintendo is kind of reviving this old, fairly obscure RPG, and I think it would be fair to say, it's not one of those things that, loads and loads of people have been clamouring for, bring Live Alive back and bring Live Alive to the West. I'm weirdly more excited about Nintendo, plucking really old and obscure things out, basically games that clearly it thinks this had the potential to do really well, and I don't think the original was a huge seller in Japan even. So I think it's cool that they're basically giving it another turn at bat. The plot looks quite bonkers. It takes place over a bunch of different time frames, and I think you can play them in any order, so that's kind of cool. Your enjoyment will probably hinge quite a lot on whether you're really into the art style of Octopath Traveler or if that kind of aesthetic just doesn't do it for you. I think it looks pretty cool though. I'm gonna play it for 20 minutes and see if I want to play another 20 minutes, I think.
In Bear and Breakfast, you are a bear, and upon stumbling across an abandoned shack with your friends, you all decide to enter the world of hospitality. Bear and Breakfast describes itself as a laid-back management adventure game, and you'll be able to build and design your very own B&B while also uncovering some interesting mysteries of the forest. So, you're a bear.
And you're running a B&B?
Running a B&B with your pals. It's looking at it, it's very Stardew Valley-esque.
And maybe also a little bit of the 2 Point Hospital, 2 Point Camp.
a little bit.
Because it seems like, the bear is running a business here, right?
Yeah.
So there's going to be some resource management as well.
Yeah. There's resource management and everything, and the
bear's not running a charity here.
No.
You want to cough up if you want to stay in the bear's B&B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is this underlying kind of mystery to it all. So while the main job is you're running a B&B, you're also uncovering weird things in the air, in the woodlands around you, which looks intriguing. I've not seen much of the gameplay surrounding those moments, but there's a spooky bit in the trailer, and I'm like, okay, maybe monster things, shadowy monsters.
You want the core gameplay to be robust, so the bed and breakfast management is good fun and stuff, but it's one of those games that 10 hours in it's a completely different genre, and you're the bear is now in the cave of dragons.
Oh my
God.
God.
I have to fight my way out.
You dig underneath the bed and breakfast, you discover a secret tunnel and a dungeon and all that sort of stuff, and there's horrors and
yeah.
open-world action JRPG series Xenoblade Chronicles is back with a third installment. Set in a war-torn world, you'll follow the story of 6 soldiers who become fugitives to both their respective sides in the war. Oh no! But oh yay, you can now have parties of up to 7 people. Plus, Xtra fans may recognise one of the voices. If anyone has seen Wedded Redemption, or Wed Dead Redemption, however you would like to pronounce that, remember when we had the lovely Harry McIntyre joining as Aubrey?
Filling in for me, so no, I haven't seen
yeah.
it. Why would I watch
it? It's not got Luke in it.
Not in it.
But there was a voice in the trailer and I was like, I know that person.
Yeah.
It's lovely Harry McIntyre.
Harry did an amazing job. Yeah, too good a job, I think. A worryingly good job. Yeah. Stay off my patch, Harry. Very cool to have an Xtra in Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yes.
I've never managed to get too into this series.
No, it always looks really fun, and then I never properly dive in. But maybe I will now that Harry's in it, and we should be like, hey, it's good.
Yeah. Well, especially like kind of being the third in a series. Yeah. I don't know if it's a continuation of the story or if it's like a completely
it's sort of set. It's set a little bit after the first 2 games.
Okay,
so
well, that's
it's
good.
sort
So
of like,
maybe you could
maybe
could take a run at this if you haven't played the first 2.
Might be able to jump in. Like there's some quality of life things in this one. So like the parties are bigger, so you can like do more things. That is either a really good thing of like, hey, I can set up loads of moves or whatever and make lots of people fighting something, and then other people might be like, that's too many things that I have to manage and make sure that everyone's healed and so, but either or. But looks interesting. There's like a thing about 2 characters sort of like sharing a mind. They're super soldiers that are created just to fight. They have very short lifespans of 10 years, and they spend
to try and explain the plot.
They spend that the entire 10 years that they spend alive, they spend fighting. And then there's this whole thing of like these 2 warring countries, but like actually there's another different real enemy out there. So it's all that thing of like, hey, you're fighting each other. You shouldn't be fighting each other. The real guy's over there, and they're laughing at us, and we've got to go fight them.
So those are the games coming out in July.
Yeah. So those are the games that are coming out in July.
What are you most excited for, as well, then? Oh, it's got to be Stray.
Stray. With the cat in it, where you get to play a cute little ginger cat.
Yeah.
Meow, 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 meow.
Well, I will be watching my fox babies get eaten by owls.
Yay!
I'm probably most excited for the fox one. Yeah, that looks fun.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, though. Much as I am not proud of myself, I'll probably just play F1 22 some more.
Endling is not until the 19th. So you've got some time to get like 2 weeks at least solid, over 2 weeks solid of F1. Drive around in the car and then be a fox.
Yeah. Then put the fox in the car.
In the car. That'll make their journey quicker.
Yeah.
Anyway, which ones are you most excited for? Are there any that we haven't listed that you are just clamouring to get your hands on? Let us know in the comments down below. And subscribe, because we do this every month.
Subscribe.
So you'll get this every month.
Come on.
And if you really want to support us as well, extra support, you can give us a hit on Patreon. And we will really massively appreciate that. You can join the Discord, talk about games there as well. We will see you next time. Take care. Meow, meow, meow. Warning, when that game comes out, this is a Stray channel, so be prepared.